I'm about to travel over 3,700 miles from Manchester all the way to Islamabad, with a stop in Doha. That's nearly 12 hours of flying. Airport security, questionable airport food, and hopefully no lost luggage. So today, you're coming with me on the entire journey. We will see if Qatar Airways really deserves to be called one of the best airlines in the world, or if it's just an expensive plain food with good marketing. So let's go. So the first challenge is getting through Manchester Airport. Now, if you've ever flown before, you'll know what security which has one mission: to make you question every life decision you've ever made. Laptop out, liquids out, belt off, shoes off. At this point, they may as well ask me to remove my socks. Thankfully, we are through, and now begins everyone's favourite airport activity: walking, more walking, even more walking. I'm convinced airports are secretly sponsored by Fitbit. Our flight today is with Qatar Airways to Doha, then to Islamabad International. I've heard so many good things about this airline, but very bad customer service. So today we are putting them to the test. Let's see if it's actually worth the hype. An hour ride for the next 7 hours, and then another 4 hours to Islamabad. I don't know anything about you, but boarding a plane is basically organized chaos. Everyone suddenly forgets what seat number they have. Somebody always blocks the aisle. Somebody's trying to fit a suitcase the size of a wardrobe into the overhead locker, and somehow it always takes forever. So when I found my seat, my first impressions were pretty comfortable, but the legroom was pretty bad. Now let's see what this entertainment system has to offer. There are literally hundreds of films, which means I'll spend the next 20 minutes choosing one before falling asleep 5 minutes into it. And here we go, Manchester. See you in a couple of weeks. I genuinely love takeoff. It's probably the only time people willingly clap because a giant metal tube managed to leave the ground. Right, let's talk about the plain food. To me, the food was actually decent. Usually, airline food looks like it's lost the will to live. But Qatar Airways might actually be onto something. That's actually surprisingly good. But I will never, probably unlikely, eat that again. We've been flying for hours and everyone around me is asleep. People are snoring. Someone's watching a movie upside down. But don't ask me how. And somehow, there's always that one baby who decides this is the perfect time to start a concert. But honestly, the flight has been smooth so far. Once I've landed in Doha, here is where I go get a Burger King. Now, this airport is absolutely massive. I swear you could accidentally walk into another country just trying to find your next gate. So, since I had a bit of time before my next flight, I've explored. Everything just feels premium, and even the toilets look like they cost more than my first car. If you got a layover, trust me, you won't get bored here. And time for my final leg, Doha to Islamabad. At this point, I'm just hoping I don't sleep through the landing. We passed through Dubai and many countries. And just like that, we made it to Islamabad. After hours of travelling, we are finally here. Nothing beats that feeling when you finally collect your suitcase, especially when it actually arrives. Overall, after walking down the stairs of fame in Islamabad International Airport and meeting the whole of Pakistan, Qatar Airways definitely lived up to its the reputation. Comfortable seats, bad service, average food, and heavy turbulent smooth flights. And Hamad International Airport was honestly an experience of its own. If you enjoyed travelling with me from Manchester all the way to Islamabad, make sure you hit the subscribe button because this trip is already getting started. There are plenty more videos coming from Pakistan, and I will see you in the next one.